Hello everybody. When I started my corporate career with Accenture and when I had a chance to leave the company, I was really worried that my manager will come to me and say, "Hey Pavan, you are an important resource, you can't leave the company, we'll help you grow and this is also a great role, etc, etc, etc." But unfortunately, nothing of that sort really happened. My manager just came to me and said, "Congratulations on your new job and when are you leaving?" That's it. That was the end of the conversation. And that was my first bummer in the corporate world. Really, can anybody be indispensable to a team? Is that even possible? Why don't you take 5 seconds and let me know in the comments. Now, there are a few situations though where people say, "I have received a matching offer from the company. When I said I'll leave the company, my company promised to send me abroad, US, UK, somewhere else. And my company has relaxed the work from home policies or any other HR policies. They are giving me a bonus again, etc, etc. Is this even possible?" I've heard stories, but this has never happened to me. So when I started talking to people, I realized that we also need to know the weaknesses of the organizations to become indispensable. Do organizations have any weaknesses to start with? Absolutely. They do have weaknesses. And for us not to be laid off, but to actually be indispensable, we need to understand what those weaknesses are. And in this video, we'll talk through some of these weaknesses. But I genuinely believe understanding these weaknesses will only help us grow in our career in the long run in the appropriate way. So let's start with the first one, which is building that niche skill. Yes, having that right and very deep knowledge about one skill set or one area could be a massive game changer. For example, Microsoft's recent survey has highlighted that more than 90% of the leaders in India believe that they have to retrain or reskill employees when they hire, specifically on AI. So if that niche skill is related to AI for you, it would be very hard for the organizations to actually let you go. They'll do whatever it takes, probably match your salary. If they have to go and find another replacement in the market, probably they have to pay a bomb to the recruitment agency and also to the incoming candidate. Rather, it is better to match the salary and let the same employee stay. There is also a small element of bringing the new person on board and 2 to 3 months of productivity loss. And all these are issues for the organization. So you having that right niche area within your skill set could be a game changer. It could be Adobe Experience Manager, AEM. It could be Salesforce. It could be AI. You pick one area which is currently doing very well in the market, and that's the key. Now, there are a few other scenarios as well where you automatically become indispensable to the team. For example, if there is a release in the coming 2 months, well, they can't hire somebody in the 2 months and bring them up to the same level as you. It takes time. And also, if there is a hiring freeze within the organization, bringing another person as a backfill, right, or a replacement is not so easy. So the teams don't want the current employees to go. Well, these might be some temporary situations, but these temporary situations are also weaknesses for the organization, and you might push for a work from home or any other kind of policy support or policy favorable to your terms. Now, coming back to the ways which can actually help you grow as well as an individual is building that long lasting or deeper connection with the client. Now, in the IT services world, everybody is an equal except client. Client is the God. Whatever client says is right. And when you as an employee, without too much oversight from your manager, is working closely with the client, then you have the possibility to build that deeper connection with the client. And when you say that, hey, you want to move out because of a different offer, then the client might object to it. The client might go talk to your manager and say that, hey, this guy is really important for the team. I already have a great connection and hence I don't want to lose them. These IT services companies are okay with everything, but they don't want these kind of unnecessary pressures from the clients. So they will do whatever it takes. That's another weakness for these companies. So understand that weakness. And in the long run, a lot of these clients, once you build that relationship and also you become a part of the system, you might be offered a role within the client setup itself. So don't ignore those possibilities. The third way in which you become indispensable to an organization is not necessarily from the client side support, but from within your organization support. And is it possible? Yes, it is absolutely possible. The client usually has an SOW based on which you commit to your work, statement of work, and you cannot work on any other client project. You cannot say that, hey, I'll work with 2 or 3 managers. Well, legally it is not permitted. If your company is allowing you to do that, that's a different matter altogether. However, no statement of work, SOW, highlights that you cannot work on your own organizational initiatives such as a diversity initiative or social media strategy for your own company. Yes, every company wants to build social media strategies, and hence if you can be a part of that team, even spending 1 or 2 hours every single week, that might be an additional lever for you, and there might be other people in the organization who might be supporting you. Well, it might not be a situation where you'd be given a salary hike, but at least you would not be laid off because there are a lot of other leaders supporting you. You can also go ahead and mentor your juniors. You can participate in any other organizational-wide initiatives such as hackathons, and all these things do make a difference. SOW plus being a part of other initiatives is one of the best ways in which you can safeguard your own role and also grow in your career. For example, to become a leader from your current role as a developer, you need to show and highlight these other extracurricular activities within your organization. Now, taking a step back, if you combine these 3 things, number 1, having that right niche skill area, number 2, making sure you have that good relationship with the client, and number 3, doing work beyond your SOW, all these 3 things together are called as your star performer criteria. Once you do all these things, you're automatically called as a star performer. And in this tough market, you need to build that star performer muscle. And you might ask me, hey, where do I start? My first recommendation, based on what my observation from the market is, go ahead and get started with that AI skill set, because 90% of the leaders are saying that whoever we hire, we need to train them, reskill them on AI. Now, if you already have that skill set, that's a massive leverage that you can have with your current employer and also potentially future employer. Microsoft itself has mentioned that they are going to train 2 million Indians on AI tools. So you getting started on that journey and being ahead of the curve makes a lot of difference to your career. I hope you understand the relevance of these points and understand the organizational weaknesses in the truest sense. If there is any other organizational weakness that I have missed, do let me know in the comments and I will pin that as the main comment. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.